Welcome back. Let's do a quick little video on some of the things that you want to watch out for with functions. The one thing is you want to be careful of initializing functions inside of loops. For example, if I had a loop here, let's say for let I equals 0, and we'll say that I, as long as it's less than 5, we will increment I. And in here, if I had a function a that gets initialized, well, every time we loop over here, so when I equals 0, we're going to initialize the function a, and then perhaps we run the function. And then when I becomes 1, once again, we initialize the function, add it to memory, and then invoke the function, so on and so forth, until I becomes 5. You want to be careful here because instead of initializing the function in a loop 5 times like we do here, we instead should be moving this up top so that we initialize the function just once. And then when we loop over it, we're just executing it 5 times instead of initializing it and executing it. So that's something that is often overlooked and you want to be careful of. Another thing that you want to be careful with is something like, let's say we had a function that returns some parameter. And if I run this, I get undefined because I haven't called it yet. So let's call that. If I run this, I get a reference error. Param is not defined. I looked at my variable environment. Hey, do I have param? Nope, don't have it. Keep looking up the scope chain. So I go up to the global variables and I ask, hey, is param there? Nope, don't have it. And as soon as we have nothing in our variable environment and nothing up our scope chain, we get a reference error. This often causes a lot of functions to fail and involves us always doing some sort of a check to see, hey, does param exist? Or is it a number? Or is it a certain type? Now, we could in here add a param. And if I run this, I won't get that error because when we add a parameter to a function, it adds it automatically to our variable environment as if we just declared that variable. But when we call it with nothing, well, we're going to get undefined. So one way you can avoid this is if you just give it a default parameter, which is new with ES6. So if I do param equals to 6 and I run this, look at that, I get 6. So it's good to have default parameters set on a function as a way to avoid those edge cases. Now, these are just small things and there's many best practices when it comes to functions. We're going to explore those a little bit later on in the course. So for now, I'll see you in the next video.